Don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world, trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well now, aren't you a curious sight? If I'd had a mask to hide my bones as well as yours, maybe I'd still be walking around today. Where'd you get it? There can't be many curios like that in the world. Ha! Fresh out of the crypt, are you? No, we are abnormal. It's why we hide in the shadows. Or walk about like you still had flesh on your bones in your case. You even have yourself a silky mortal voice. How much do you think I get out? All I know is there are more like you. Well, not quite like you. But sorcerers collared on this tub, all heading to Fort Joy. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine. Still, you'd best keep that mask on. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
Junk. Junk. Rubbish. How crude. I've seen more intricate design in a butcher's slab.
Everything's spick and span. Nothing left to do, really. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with the others.
Why? Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for several days.
Fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Sauce. For good. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Sauce spells of yours? See what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you, of sorts. Makes you unable to... For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
This turquoise. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, there wouldn't be a Magister. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometime bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already?
I forgot how to sing. I did. Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. Why, I never. I left my good pals at home, or I'd be clutching them with all my daintiest, most... Say as you will, husband. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb won't be treated so.
The children break out into giggles.
What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Seems to me you should be a little more afraid. There's a killer about, after all.
Till overboiling a bit of cabbage becomes a crime, I shall hold my head steady.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions.
Your kind always hung closest to where the line, like wolves around a campfire.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with him.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away
The
with
ship, of course.
Well, there has been a murder.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
You'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right. I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger, it's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
Anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. You've got ears on your head, haven't you? Do you need me to show you how to use them? There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. No, indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
Over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we?
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? In which case, I take it your cuisine is limited to the introduction of eggs to hot water. How disappointing. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Oh, but to feel the caress of satin on my scarlet skin once more. A most satisfactory answer indeed. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. The very basics, then. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions... As per your own testimony, you can tailor and groom, but you have the taste buds of a dung beetle. Still, beggars can't be choosers. So without further ado, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up? You think me mad? Mad? Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. Rein in your impertinence, will you? I'm a fair... Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duties once we reach
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
It was one of them. I know it.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your subs.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate... Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without...
He glances over at Magister Victor, who stares...
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
The Joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop... Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me?
Easy now. I might think the same. But Vic here...
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name.
I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook.
Away with you.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans...
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Psst. Kid, you been down by the room up the hall?
No.
You sure about that?
No.
What's your name?
No.
Gods, didn't your mother teach you any manners?
She got eaten by a void woken.
Forget it.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken